Good morning, traders. This is Joanne with Succeed in Forex. Welcome to our Forex Market News broadcast for Wednesday, February the 6th, 2008. Today seems to be a very light news day, and the headlines out of Switzerland are reading this morning: the euro drops on expectations the ECB could cut interest rates. The euro declined on Tuesday as dismal Eurozone service sector data fueled expectations the European Central Bank might follow the United States in cutting interest rates. Meanwhile, the dollar pared early U.S. gains versus the yen after a report showed a sharp drop in activity in the U.S. service sector as well in January. The weak data reinforced fears the economy is slowing even as the Federal Reserve cuts rates aggressively to revive growth. The euro-dollar fell more than 1% after figures showed service sector growth across the 15-nation bloc slowed in January to its most sluggish in 4.5 years. Germany, Spain, and Italy all registered slowdowns. A separate report showed the Eurozone retail sales defied expectations of a monthly rise in December and fell. This is underscoring a slowing economy. At yesterday's close, the euro-dollar was down to a 146.35, its steepest one-day loss since mid-January. The euro's weakness helped lift the dollar across the board despite the weak U.S. service sector data. The ECB meets to set interest rates on Thursday and is mostly expected to keep them on hold at 4%. The dollar-yen traded down at 106.53 after earlier climbing as high as 107.74. The U.S. currency gave up all its gains after the dismal showing in the ISM's non-manufacturing index. The index dropped in January to levels not seen since the 2001 recession. The Fed's aggressive rate cuts in recent months lent to some support to the dollar, as investors took the view that the bold action would sustain the U.S. economy and fuel a recovery later in the year. The Fed has already slashed its key rate by 225 basis points and is seen cutting at least another 75 basis points by the end of the year. The future market expects the ECB to cut rates by 50 basis points by the third quarter and is split on a further 25 basis point easing before the end of the year. The Bank of England also meets to set rates on Thursday and is expected to cut borrowing costs 25 basis points to 5.25. It would be the second rate cut in 3 months. The Australian dollar dropped even as benchmark borrowing costs rose to an 11-year high of 7%. The Australian dollar traded down to 89.58. Taking a closer look at the Asian session, the dollar rally continues. In the Asian session, the dollar continued to gain against all currencies except the low yielders. No major events or data releases were scheduled for the continent. Yesterday, the German Deputy Finance Minister made a few interesting comments worth noting. First was a statement that the foreign exchange rates would play an important role in the G7 meeting on Saturday, and that the euro shouldn't receive full force of every exchange rate adjustment. His second comment was that German growth remains strong, however the pace has slowed considerably. These comments are important ahead of the ECB rate decisions on Thursday, especially since the German Deputy Finance Minister joins a growing group of policymakers who believe that it is time for the ECB to shift its emphasis away from inflation and focus more on economic growth. It is this change in stance that has the market pricing in a stronger dollar. That concludes our news for today. We hope it's been beneficial for your trading. I've had several questions about what is going on behind me in the video. Well, I thought I would just give you a slight view of what my office and my computers look like. Okay, here's a view of my office. You can't see all the computer screens there, but I have 4 at the top level. I have 6 at the bottom level, and I have a TV screen which I watch CNBC to get as much updating as I can, especially during the Asian session. I find it helpful to know what's going on. And when I'm looking at you, I have an additional 3 screens, my laptop and 2 additional screens, which I take with me when I travel. These are also charts that we review in our Traders Training Center, live, real-time trading. We not only have the capability for the trading coaches to show their charts live and in real time, but also for other traders that are in the Trading Center to share theirs live and in real time. We find it very helpful to have this type of interactive participation. I hope you found this little peek behind the scenes of our Traders Training Center interesting. You can find more information about this at our website at www.succeedinforex.com. There you can also find a link to our Yahoo forum, which is also succeedinforex.com. Thank you for joining us today. Hope this is beneficial to your trading and that you have a great trading day. So happy pipping, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow.